Hello, everyone, as you're coming in. Welcome to the Living in Pittsburgh webinar hosted by Duquesne University International Admissions. We are so happy that you're here today, that you've joined us. We will get started in about 1 minute. And in the meantime, just for our internet to run smoothly, it's best to keep your camera off and keep yourself muted. However, we will have time at the end of the webinar to ask and answer questions. So we really look forward to chatting with you in a bit.
And we'd just like to let everyone know that we do have closed captions available today. So if you're on Zoom on the bottom right of your screen, you click the ... or the more option. Clicking show subtitles will give us live captions as Megan and I present today.
Hey everyone. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Megan Evangelist, and I'm the Assistant Director of International Admissions at Duquesne University. I actually am a graduate of Duquesne. I'm a Duquesne alumna. So I also teach in the School of Education as well in our Master's ESL TESOL program. So I love Duquesne. It's, a home for me, and I'm very, very thankful to be part of this team and working with our international students, because you are all very, very important to me being part of the university. So we're here today to talk about Pittsburgh, and I am actually a native of Pittsburgh. I have lived abroad for school. I have traveled abroad, but Pittsburgh is my home. So I wanted to just share a little bit about Pittsburgh with you. I really like living here because it is a small town atmosphere. There are always exciting events going on and very, very helpful people. So I love to attend cultural events, visit museums, go to concerts. I also really like to hike and swim. So there's a lot to do recreationally in the city parks as well as outside of the city. And also I loved attending Duquesne University because our location could not be any more convenient.
And hi, everybody. My name is Aaron Morelli, and I'm the manager of international admissions and recruitment at Duquesne University. I'm not a Pittsburgh native, but I did grow up in Pennsylvania, where I definitely fell in love with all of the outdoor nature scenes that there are in Pennsylvania. And honestly, I've studied abroad a lot throughout high school and college. I've lived abroad in Southeast Asia for a couple years. And I can honestly say that Pittsburgh is one of my favorite cities in the world, mostly because of the nature and the size of the city and just the general atmosphere. In the picture that I put up here, you can see the two beautiful rivers that we have right downtown. And I really love the entire city because there's tons of neighborhoods. There's always a new restaurant or a new cuisine to try. And especially during the summer and when the weather is perfect, we have a lot of live music events as well, all throughout the different neighborhoods in Pittsburgh. But I really, really love how accessible outdoor parks and outdoor hiking and kayaking, canoeing, a lot of outdoor activities are available right in Pittsburgh, right next to a larger city. And I absolutely, absolutely love it in Pittsburgh. That's why I live here. I moved back pretty close to home, and I'm still learning a lot about Pittsburgh, but we're here to share with you some of the benefits of living here and really what it's like to be a student while you're studying at Duquesne. So today I'm going to go through some of the features that we have at Pittsburgh, some of the amenities, what a typical life might look like while you're living in the United States and in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So the picture of the left, similar earlier, I mean, that's really the heart of Pittsburgh. You can see two of our rivers converging right in the center of downtown Pittsburgh. We have a lot of great art and a really big art scene here in Pittsburgh. Andy Warhol is from Pittsburgh, and he has his own museum here where you can see a lot of his art, his progression through his career. as well as a lot of live music with the Pittsburgh Symphony, a lot of cultural events throughout our museums, and a very, very big part of Pittsburgh's culture are our sports teams. And we have very successful sports teams such as the American football Pittsburgh Steelers team, along with our Pittsburgh Pirates team for hockey or for baseball. And we also have a very successful hockey team, the Pittsburgh Penguins. So there's a lot of great cultural events while you're living in Pittsburgh that you can attend. And we're often ranked America's most livable city, not only for all of these reasons, but for a lot of the companies that we have in Pittsburgh. And a lot of the employment opportunities, all of the universities that we have here. I mean, Duquesne is located right in the center of downtown next to a lot of other universities in Pittsburgh, like CMU, Pitt. But again, we have around 20 different universities here. So there's tons of young professionals working and studying and living in living in Pittsburgh. And so again, I said Duquesne's campus is right downtown. So on the left, you'll see a picture of what our campus looks like from the sky. Right in the heart is our Duquesne Union. That's where we're located in the Center for Global Engagement. But we have a very small, close-knit park-like campus right downtown. So even though we are in a pretty big city, having a closed-off small park campus really gives you that luxury of safety and feeling close at home while living inside the city. So you're still able to get to all the restaurants to really enjoy the benefits of living in a big city. But when you're on campus, it's a lot smaller atmosphere, more cozy, more close knit. And then on the right, you're seeing exactly where Duquesne's campus is in the city of Pittsburgh. Again, we're right along the water. We have great views of the city throughout campus, throughout some of our dorms, some of our buildings. And generally, it's just a beautiful place to study and live. Let me go to the next slide. So studying and working in Pittsburgh, there's a lot of great opportunities here. Again, we have like a park-like setting. We're ranked highly every year on one of America's most livable city. And the city of Pittsburgh is really just an extension of our campus. So you can really have opportunities to get internships, sporting and cultural events, and recreation is just a few minutes away. With all of those live sports that we were talking about, but we do have a lot of big companies we'll talk about in a little bit that are headquartered or have offices here in Pittsburgh. And there's a lot of internship opportunities and post-graduation work available for all of our students within the city and the surrounding area. But we'll be going through some of the services that we have through our Career and Development Center. But of course, you can go to duke.edu/Pittsburgh, and that'll give you a lot of information about what it's like to be in this city living in Pittsburgh. And not only are we located in a really nice city, Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania is a very accessible location to a lot of other larger cities. So Pittsburgh, we're only 30 minutes away from the airport. So it's a very seamless transition for you to get land from your airplane, get to campus and really see the city. But we're also very close to larger cities like Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Chicago, Atlanta, and Charlotte, which are all a very quick train ticket or a flight or just a road trip that you can take to these cities. So you get the luxury of that big city feel when you're in Pittsburgh, but we have a lot more of an affordable cost of living. So you get a lot of the amenities, but not having to pay the price of living in New York or Philadelphia or a larger city. But again, it's really easy when you're here in the States. And of course, once COVID is less of a threat, to travel a lot to these big cities. Because when you're in the States, we are a very large country. There's a lot of things to see. So Pittsburgh is a perfect location to really join and visit all of the other cities around us. And then we have some students here that we'd like to share testimonials and really what their experiences were like at Duquesne. So this is from one of our students, Abby Sue, who was a professional MBA student. She has since graduated, but she liked the location of Duquesne University. It's located right next to downtown Pittsburgh, where you can easily get everything you would need within walking distance. Duquesne has a beautiful campus that you can really enjoy the university atmosphere. Moreover, you can also see the Pittsburgh city landscape from campus. And in the picture below, you'll see one of the bridges that we have in Pittsburgh. We are one of the largest, or one of the cities that has the most bridges in them. And this is one of the big aspects of Pittsburgh that makes it so beautiful. Almost from anywhere on campus, you'll be able to see someone, or you'll be able to see a bridge. A lot of them you're able to walk across, and it really ties into the beautiful landscape we have with the two rivers converging right in downtown. So, of course, we need a lot of bridges to get across it. When you're on campus, you can see a lot of these straight from your dorm or from some of your academic buildings. And then we do have some great weather and sometimes not so great weather in Pittsburgh. We know for a lot of our international students that this might be their first experience with snow and with like colder weather. But I've got to tell you, the spring, summer, and fall, the majority of the year is absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite seasons in Pittsburgh is definitely in fall. Like I said earlier, we have a lot of outdoor hiking, a lot of trails, a lot of forests and parks around us. So we have a beautiful display of trees as the leaves start to change color. And all four of these pictures are taken of the same location. So you can kind of see the transition of our foliage and our different trees that we have throughout the seasons, from spring, summer, fall, and winter. But when you're here on campus, there's a lot of events, especially when you're staying over summer. There's a lot of opportunity to get out, see what Pittsburgh has to offer, and really get a great experience while you're here studying in the United States. And we're also noted for a lot of our neighborhoods. Megan definitely knows these a lot better than I do. She's from Pittsburgh. But you'll look on the map, these are all of the different neighborhoods that we have in Pittsburgh, each with their own atmosphere, their own look, different populations as well. We have a lot of international pockets of communities throughout Pittsburgh with a lot of cultural events throughout the year. So downtown, we're located right on the Bluff, but we're really close to a lot of downtown neighborhoods. But each of these has their own cultural aspect, and it's a real fun thing to learn about Pittsburgh while you're here, and really get to understand what makes each of these neighborhoods different and what really differentiates them between each other. But if you're like me, it will take some time to get used to them. I'm still learning about new neighborhoods, I'd say almost every time I get into my car. But with the Google Maps, it's very easy to navigate and get around the city and really learn what we have to offer here. And one of my favorite places also is the Strip District. This is located right downtown, a few minutes walk from campus, where we have a lot of shopping opportunities. I am a very, very big cook, so I'd love to go here and hunt for unique ingredients from Asian grocery stores. We have a really large Italian grocery store. We have a lot of open air markets as well, along with small businesses from Pittsburgh selling artisanal products or having small restaurants where you can go and eat a lot of exotic food. This definitely reminds me of my time in Southeast Asia with street markets. So the Strip District is one of my favorite places to go to, where I'm able to get all of the ingredients I can't get at a regular grocery store, and try some new food or get some coffee or get some new products that I really haven't seen. And it's just a great place to visit in Pittsburgh. And on the right, you'll see a few pictures of Oakland, where we have a lot of universities as well and museums. It's a very open neighborhood in Pittsburgh with a lot of trees, a lot of space. Definitely a little less compact than I'd say in the Strip District. But this is a great place to explore and get to know this neighborhood in Pittsburgh with a lot of their cultural events as well. And then the next neighborhood we like to talk about is Shady Side. This is also a really fun neighborhood to explore when you're here in Pittsburgh, that has a lot of different shopping opportunities, small restaurants, and different murals and art aspects throughout the city. And I really need to learn more about every little neighborhood, and Shady Side has been one that I haven't visited as much. So there's always something to learn more about Pittsburgh and really experience the different cultures that are within our neighborhoods. And then within Squirrel, This is another great place to go to for restaurants. This is a really great place that has a lot of parks outdoors, a lot of opportunities to visit to visit restaurants to really get that different experience. But each of these neighborhoods, again, has their own look and feel and their own culture to them.
And Aaron, I just wanted to add too that a lot of these neighborhoods are neighborhoods that Duquesne students end up living in. If you are a graduate student or you're coming in as a transfer student, we'll be talking a little bit about housing coming up, but just, consider some of these neighborhoods whenever you're doing a search for apartments as well.
Mhm. And Megan, I noticed we had a question in the chat of why is it called the Shady Side? Do you know any of the history behind that?
I don't actually. I mean, it is a very shaded area because there are a lot of trees in the neighborhood. So if I had to guess, that's what I would say. But I really don't know why it's named Shady Side. It's a good question.
Yeah. But moving on, we have a lot of experiences in Pittsburgh, not just within the city itself, but we're really close to a lot of areas outside of Pittsburgh. But one of the greatest things to see when you're in Pittsburgh is definitely the Andy Warhol Museum. It has a very diverse collection of his works, and it's a really interactive exhibition where you can see a lot of his fun work and really get inside of his mind and look at his history of his career. This is one of the first places I visited when I moved to Pittsburgh, and it's a really, really good location to learn about the culture and the art history that we have here. And there's a lot of nightlife and a lot of shopping opportunities, especially in the South Side or really close to downtown as well. And then we have a really, really large Pittsburgh Zoo and aquarium here in Pittsburgh with thousands of animals, a lot of endangered species, and it's a really just great environment a great location to visit while you're here. And then in the pictures you can see on the right, these are from Kennywood Park, one of the amusement parks that we have here in Pittsburgh. This is a pretty big cultural piece of the United States where we do have a lot of amusement parks and roller coasters throughout the entire country. But this is a really great one that's pretty close to Pittsburgh. We have a lot of other parks available as well. If you're looking to kind of experience something new and kind of get that thrill of a roller coaster ride, Kennywood Park is a really fun place to go to. And also, like I said, Pittsburgh has a very, very large sports culture that's largely due to our very successful American football team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have won 6 Super Bowls. So if you're not familiar with American football, which a lot of our international students aren't, this is a really big deal. American football is number one in the country, is the number one sport in the United States, and the Super Bowl is the big championship every year where our city, the Pittsburgh Steelers, have won this the most out of any other team in the league. So it's always a difficult ticket to buy because they're usually sold out. But if you're lucky enough to get a chance to see a Pittsburgh Steelers game, it is absolutely fantastic. My dad is a big, big fan, so we've gone to games before. And it's just really great to be a part of a culture, especially with a successful team. It really makes the games pretty enjoyable. But we do have successful hockey and baseball teams with the Pittsburgh Pens who play right next to campus. This is less than a 5-minute walk straight from campus to go to the hockey arena, as well as the Pittsburgh Pirates. You can see the baseball field on the left. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous place to go. And we're hoping to take a lot of our international students this fall as well to see one of these games live. And if they win, hopefully the fireworks show afterwards. It's right on the river. It's a great location and a really fun experience while you're here in Pittsburgh.
And Aaron, I just wanted to add too that during our international orientation, which is coming up August 12th and 13th, we're going to plan to take you guys to a Pittsburgh Pirates game. So you will be sitting in that very seat looking at that view of the baseball stadium on August 15th. So we're super excited that we're able to do that with you. Really looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Megan. And then here's just another testimonial from one of our students that was in our pre-pharmacy program. Lynn says that I really like Pittsburgh because it's a small, beautiful, and friendly city. Everyone I meet here is really warm-hearted and they're always willing to help when I'm in need. Moreover, Pittsburgh is a good place to live and study because of the living costs here is affordable to students. Students, especially those that prefer a friendly and peaceful environment for studying, will enjoy the city and Duquesne. And I completely agree. I mean, Pittsburgh is a very friendly, very fun neighborhood, a nice city. But very importantly, the cost of living here is a lot lower, not just with your rent and with the actual cost, but even going out to restaurants or a lot of the entertainment we spoke to earlier. It's not that expensive to go to a lot of these games or to a lot of the museums. And we have a lot of free parks and a lot of great natural environment that you can explore at no cost. So there's a lot of opportunity to take advantage of living in Pittsburgh without spending the big city dollars that you'd see in New York City or similar cities.
Aaron, thank you so much. That was great. So I'm going to talk a little bit about living on campus and what it's going to be like to be at Duquesne. So Duquesne University is located up on top of a hill that we call the Bluff. So you'll see whenever you arrive to campus, we are kind of isolated away from the city in that our campus is completely separate from other buildings, all encompassing in one area. So basically there's, two main points to enter campus. So then whenever you are wanting to go downtown, wanting to go to a restaurant or walk to an internship, it's right there. But also when you're on campus, you feel like there's no one else that's around you besides Duquesne students, faculty, and staff, which is really a nice feeling. So we are named one of the safest urban campuses in the United States, which is a great thing. We have our own public safety, our police force at Duquesne, so that if you're ever feeling like, okay, I'd like to walk to the bus, but it's dark, I just had a night class, I would like someone to escort me, you can call them and they'll come and walk with you or give you a ride down to the bus stop or to your apartment building. They're very, very friendly, very, very helpful people. So we do have 7 different living learning centers, which are another name for dormitories, but we call them living learning centers because they're a place where you're able to do everything that you need to do in one location. So there's places to eat in your living learning center, study, work on projects, socialize. Most, if not all, have a place for you to do laundry right inside of your building. Some even have exercise bikes and different things for you to do recreationally. So it's really nice that you don't even have to leave where you're living to do those things. Also, I wanted to just point out the picture on the right side on the bottom. That is what a typical room in a living learning center looks like. So there are different options whenever you go on to Dory to register for housing. You'll be able to see the different buildings as well as the different setups with roommates versus singles. So there's a lot of different options as far as living spaces go on campus. And we also have a very beautiful, newly built power center, which is dedicated to recreation and fitness. So this building is pictured on the top right, and you'll see once you're at campus that there are so many things happening here. They host intramural leagues for you if you like to play sports like basketball, volleyball, soccer. They kind of gather teams together of students to play. I go to the power center to exercise, use the elliptical, use the bike, use weights. There's an indoor track to run. So it's a really, really good place for us to go if we can't exercise outside, it's a great place to be. They also have classes that are free. So you can take yoga, Zumba, powerlifting, lots of opportunities there. So one really great thing about Duquesne is there's always something going on. You will never run out of things to do. There are over 200 student organizations on campus, and one of their main tasks is to provide activities for the students. So these are student-run organizations that get you involved, get you meeting people, and also sometimes they're service-oriented, sometimes they're social, sometimes you'll be going off campus with these groups. So it's really nice to look into them now and see which ones you would want to join. And then in the fall, they do a big fair where all of these organizations will sit out on our main walk and have a table so you can walk up, talk to the person, ask them, what is this organization about? And then you can sign up there. So some of our largest student organizations are actually with our international students. Our international student organization is one of the largest organizations on our campus. So I would highly recommend you join the International Student Organization whenever you come. Also, a huge organization is our cultural ambassadors. So you'll be the new student coming in the fall, but then we ask you whenever you're later in your program to come back and help the new students. So that's what the cultural ambassadors do. They will be at your orientation, they will be leading some of the programming and getting to know you, and then you can return the favor and help other new students when they're coming later in your program. Also, a lot of different groups have organizations: the Latin American Student Organization, Chinese Student Union, Indian Student Association, Muslim Student Association, Saudi Student Organization. There's also Greek Life. So if you've seen anything about Greek life on American TV, it's probably very inflated, but there are fraternities and sororities. Some of them are social and some of them are service oriented. So you'll see if you're in education or in business, there will be fraternities or sororities to join about your specific program. Also, there are different professional organizations that you can join, so that if you're in finance, for example, you'll be working with all other finance students in that organization. Also, when I was at Duquesne, I was part of the student radio station. So you can even have your own radio station while you're at Duquesne. You can have your own show. So that's something where you go in, you have an hour, you get to talk on the radio, play your favorite music. It's a lot of fun. And also, if you are a writer, we have a journal called Lexicon and also a student newspaper called the Duquesne Duke. So many opportunities for you to use your talents while you're at Duquesne. And, I'm just talking about a few. There are over 200. So I would say go on to Google, do a search for Duquesne University student organizations, and take a look. You'll see how many are out there. So eating is a very big part of my day. I don't know about you, but I want to make sure that I have something good planned to eat every day that I'm on campus. So we do have 11 different places to eat while you're on our campus, which is fabulous. They do offer menu selections every day, so you can plan it out before you even start your day. Such as I want to go eat at Hogan Dining Hall for lunch because they're going to have risotto, and I love risotto, so I'm going there. There's Starbucks on campus, which is very popular, of course. Everyone needs their coffee. And also, I am vegetarian myself, so I like to see what the options are to make sure that I'm not, running into, okay, the only thing available is maybe meat. But typically our campus is really good at making sure there's a vegetarian option in every single dining location. So if you do live on campus, your meal plan is covered in the cost of housing. So you do not have to worry about signing up for an additional meal plan. But if you are going to be living off campus, you can sign up for a meal plan. So it makes it really easy. All you have is your Duquesne ID card, and you swipe your card to pay for your food. So it just makes it better than if you don't need to pay cash or pay with a credit card. So as I said, a lot of things are going on campus all of the time. And I just wanted to point out that there's a few more ways to look into what's happening. So there is something called Campus Link, and that will show you all of the upcoming events for the student organizations. Also, the Duquesne Program Council. This is a group that's run by students, and they bring different famous people and musicians to our campus. So you might see that there's a comedian coming to do stand-up, or there's a concert coming in. They also have monthly movies, so you can go and watch them with friends, different lectures as well. So there is an app, it's CORQ, and you're able to look at all of the events that are going on by using this app as well. So we do have many different sporting events that happen at Duquesne. We are a Division I school. So that means that we are in the top tier of student athletes. So you have the opportunity as a student to attend a lot of these games at no cost to you. We just built a brand new arena for our sporting events. I have not even been there yet, so you guys might get to go before I even do. But they will host a lot of our basketball games, different soccer games. Everything will be within that. It's called the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse. Also, you'll see when you're there in the fall that there are a lot of activities that will happen outside on the football field. So you'll see people gathering, lively music happening, and it's because there's a football game happening. So always something to watch. I personally just like to go and talk to my friends and eat food. I'm sometimes not even watching the game. So it's just a nice place to socialize too, and maybe even learn about a new sport. So as I said when I was beginning, that everything is self-contained on our campus. So if you look at this picture, you'll see that all of the major buildings are in one area. So your classes will be here, your living learning center will be here if you're living on campus. The library is here, the power center is here. All of your dining locations are located in this stretch. So it's not like you're going to a campus where you have to, say, get on a bus to go from one class to the next because the campus is so large. Everything that you're going to do is walkable. So that's really great because you might have a class that ends in the morning. You want to go grab some lunch, and then you need to walk to your afternoon class. All of that is doable, and you have enough time to move throughout campus without feeling rushed. So that is really, really good. Also, I saw in the chat we had a question about transportation. So on your Duquesne ID, you're going to be able to use that to use the Loop bus, and that bus will take you to other neighborhoods such as the South Side and the waterfront and Oakland, and that is just for Duquesne students. So that's run by the university, and you'll be able to get a Loop bus schedule whenever you come. So there are also city buses. The cost of city bus is, I think, about $2.75 for a round trip ticket. The city bus can take you basically anywhere you please in the city. So if the Loop bus isn't going there, you're able to use a city bus for transportation. And also you'll find when you're with us at orientation that we have a train system in Pittsburgh. And whenever you're within downtown, you're able to use that for free. So we're going to show you how to walk from campus to the train, get on the train for free, and then go to the north side, which is another neighborhood in Pittsburgh where our Pirates baseball stadium is. So for our housing, students who are undergraduate students, meaning that you're a freshman or a sophomore coming in as a transfer, you will be required to live on campus for 2 years. So that is our housing policy. And basically what happens is whenever you pay your enrollment deposit on your application portal, you'll complete a housing survey and agreement on Dory. So you have to make sure that you sign up for your multi-pass and that you log into Dory to state your preferences and talk about what you would like to see in having a roommate. The deadline for this is July 1st. And then you will get more information about this sent to your Duquesne student email. So again, when you sign up for Dory, Dory is basically everything you're going to need at the university. It's going to connect you to your email address, which is really important. It's going to connect you to registering for classes, registering for housing. All of the important information you need is in one place. So if you have not yet done that, please make sure that you go in to register for multi-pass, sign into Dory. And if you're having any trouble, I know people have reached out to me. Please keep reaching out to me and I can help you to access that. So I've had a few questions too about what if I have a family member who lives in the city of Pittsburgh and I want to live with them? That is no problem. We welcome that if you have someone in your family that you are able to live with while you're here at Duquesne. We just need you to fill out a waiver form. So please let me know if you need that. I can send you a link to fill out the waiver form. We'll submit it on your behalf and make sure that you're cleared for that. And so for graduate students and also upperclassmen, you will most likely want to consider living off of campus. Many of our international students, many of our domestic students at the graduate level choose to live off of campus. The benefits are that it is a little bit more affordable for you. You have your own space as far as if you want to cook, different reasons, like you might have 2 people that you want to share an apartment with to lower the cost. So typically an apartment in the city of Pittsburgh costs somewhere around $1,300 to about $1,700 US in 1 month. So I highly recommend that no one goes into getting an apartment by yourself because that's very expensive for you as a student. I would say try to connect with people who also want to live off campus, get an apartment together. So there's a few different resources for you to look into, and we'll be sending out this presentation for you so that you can use all of these links. There's a student guide to Pittsburgh and also Pittsburgh apartment home living. And there's also a website for you to look at that has different resources about how to find housing, where you want to live. And then I also have to tell you that there is an entire office at Duquesne University that is committed to helping you with this process. So as much as I would love to be, helping you with apartments, there is a whole team that does this, and they're called Commuter Affairs. So they provide resources to you as a student. When you're looking for housing, they're going to help you with a lease, talk to you about what it is appropriate of a landlord. So they are really truly the experts that can help you with this process. So if you need any support, I'm going to recommend that you connect with Commuter Affairs. And Pittsburgh is home to many, many students. So you'll see that whenever you're out looking, you're going to see young people everywhere. So they might not be Duquesne students, they might be University of Pittsburgh students or Carnegie Mellon University students, but it's a very young city. So it's a great place for you to be. So now we're just going to talk a bit about working on campus. Many students ask about, can I get additional scholarships or funding? Working is really a great way to help to bring down your tuition costs. So Erin and I will share a little bit about working on campus, as well as CPT, OPT, and career development.
Thanks, Megan.
Sure.
So again, I mean, working in Pittsburgh, there's a lot of opportunities, especially for international students when you're here on your F1 visa or whichever visa you might be on. But we're really noted for a lot of our professional opportunities, our livability, and the welcoming atmosphere that we have here in Pittsburgh. And we're recognized as one of the top 40 cities in the United States for a strong job market with big industries here. And we have a lot of tech companies, and more are growing in Pittsburgh. So Google, Uber each have offices in Pittsburgh. And if you've ever used the Duolingo app to learn a language, or if you use the Duolingo English test to submit your English test scores, Duolingo is actually founded and headquartered right in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with its founder from CMU. So it's a really, really great opportunity to get an internship after you graduate or while you're pursuing your graduate or undergraduate studies, especially within the tech industry. Healthcare is also very large in Pittsburgh, with the UPMC, or the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, having a lot of hospitals, a lot of health insurance offerings, and really just a very strong job market in health insurance and healthcare. But we also have 20 other universities. So there's a lot of young talent, a lot of young professionals with whom you can network with, you can make connections, and also get job opportunities or find those doors that really open you to working in the United States and the opportunities that we have here. But we do have a full office that's dedicated to help you with these, and we'll speak to that in just a little bit. And we are one of the top 3 US best cities for STEM jobs. So a lot of our programs have that STEM designation. And that's what a lot of our graduate students come to Duquesne for. That's what a lot of our undergraduate students. One of the biggest benefits, there's a lot of work opportunity after you graduate and while you're studying, where you're able to get an income, get that professional work experience, and really complete your education in the United States, not just with your academics, but with that real life work experience on your resume when you return to your country or if you begin your career internationally. It's a great, great place to have this. But just like the typical cost of living in Pittsburgh, so for housing, the average 2-bedroom apartment is around $1,250. And like Megan said earlier, we really do recommend probably getting a roommate for your first year or for your first couple if you're living off campus. It's a really great way to reduce costs, to make some friends, to network while you're in Pittsburgh. And there are just a lot of young professionals constantly looking for housing, looking for those types of roommates. And if you're in our WhatsApp international group, please feel free to message there. We've had a lot of international students find each other as they're both looking for housing, looking for apartments. So that's a great way to make a connection. Also, getting in touch with our commuter affairs office here at Duquesne. If you're interested in looking for an apartment and they know of other students that are looking for apartments, that's a great way to meet some students, to make those lifelong friendships, and really save some money while you're living in Pittsburgh. But the utilities are pretty affordable. These all vary, of course, where you live, how much you use, but we average these around $170 per month, along with around $360 per person, depending on how often you eat out. I mean, there are tons and tons of great restaurants, but I try to save a little money and cook a lot at home, and going to all these different grocery stores and really utilizing what I have in the kitchen. But of course, all of these are flexible. Pittsburgh is a great city to live in. And there's a lot of varying cost of living on some of the neighborhoods that we discussed earlier. So I take that the train that Megan spoke to earlier. It's free right in downtown, but even if you're coming from a little bit further from campus, it's a really accessible way to jump right onto campus and really reduce the cost of living here in Pittsburgh.
Okay, so we talked a bit about on-campus employment in that it helps you with paying for your tuition. So I wanted to point out that students are eligible to work on campus if you're an F1 student, up to 20 hours a week while classes are in session. And then whenever we're on vacation periods, such as spring break or winter break or summer vacation, you're able to work 40 hours per week. So you do not have to get permission from us in the Center for Global Engagement for on-campus employment. You actually just get hired. It might be working in the library or working in our bookstore, working in food services, working at Starbucks. There's a lot of different options there. So you would be working on our campus, and working outside of campus is not permitted. So if you wanted to work, say, at a restaurant, that would not work with your visa status. So we want to make sure that you are on campus working to earn some money. And I should also say that as soon as you arrive to campus, you can start to look for jobs as well. So that starts right away. Now, with curricular practical training, or CPT, this is going to be related to your field of study. So it's related to your established curriculum, what you're studying in your program. This happens in 1 year after you start at the university. You need 12 months before you're able to do CPT. So you have to be registered for credits when you're participating in CPT. And we typically say that this is an internship, but it could also be a practicum or a co-op opportunity. And this is typically done outside of campus. So you'll be connected with your program, and they'll say, hey, there's an internship happening downtown at this company. You should apply for it. You will also have the choice to work with our Career Development Center, which we'll talk about coming up too, and they'll be showing you some opportunities for internships, practicums, and co-ops as well. But this does have to go through our office, the Center for Global Engagement, and Mary Beth Morris, our immigration advisor, will help you with the CPT process. And also, another huge part of coming to the US is the opportunity to work after graduation. So optional practical training, or OPT, is a 12-month work authorization that allows you to work off campus in your field of study again. So if you come to Duquesne University as an education major and you are studying education administration, for example, you cannot go out and get a job working in an advertising agency. That is not related to your field of study. So we have to make sure that you are finding work that is closely related to your degree program. And Mary Beth Morris, again, our immigration advisor, works with the US Citizen and Immigration Services to authorize this employment for you. So this process happens after you graduate. You don't need to worry a lot about it now, but there is information on our website that describes what the application process for OPT looks like. Also, if you are a STEM major, so if you are in the field of science, technology, engineering, or math, you are eligible for a 24-month STEM extension that goes beyond your original 12 months of OPT. So I'm sure that you are all well aware of whether or not your program is STEM eligible, but if you need to find out, there's a list of approved academic fields. You can also reach out to us and we can let you know if your program is approved as a STEM eligible program.
And then we do have a big center for career development. So if you're here, especially for business or really within most of our programs, you'll want to be looking at your resume, getting ready for internships, work on your interview experience, and like really tailor those skills. So we have an office that's right next door to our Center for Global Engagement that helps students prepare for their future success by assisting with job searches or by pursuing advanced degrees. So there's a lot of career exploration that you can do while you're here, especially if you're not that familiar with what type of job markets there are in the United States, and you're looking for that OPT opportunity to work while you're studying or right after graduation. This is a great way to meet with a one-on-one academic or career advisor who will really help you figure out where your skill sets are, where the demands in the job market are, and really how to best match the two. And there's also ways to help find career related experiences through internship, part time work, or volunteering. We do just like to note that if you do have an internship or you are volunteering and it's not paid, we typically still need to know about that within the Center for Global Engagement to make sure that you maintain your visa status. So always just keep us in the loop anytime you're looking for employment while you're here on a non-immigrant visa. But one of the biggest tools is obviously our job search feature. So meeting with a counselor one-on-one is really helpful to figure out one, what kind of job that you're looking for, but two, who's looking to hire those types of jobs and what they're looking for on their resume, their cover letters. But it's a great opportunity to work with our staff and get those mock interviews where they can record you, show you what your speech sounds like, and really listen to yourself, critique yourself, and improve how you answer kind of some of the silly questions you'll get in an interview. And they also just teach you how to search for jobs in the United States and show some of the tools and resources that we have on campus for you, along with all the other resources online to really make sure you find a job that's helping you with your career and that's paying you exactly what you want. But on our next slide, we have some information about one of our online program or some of the events that we have with career development. So we have monthly events, right, that go with our students for resume writing, mock interview workshops, internship sessions. We have a lot of employers that will regularly come to campus who either are just looking for internships or often recruit interns from Duquesne. We have a very large alumni network, so this is a great way to work with businesses of Duquesne alum who are looking for employ or looking to employ students or fresh graduates. But we also have career cafes with resume writing, with job fair ideas. But we have a lot of job and internship fairs on campus. One in September, one in February, where we have a lot of employers that come to campus and are actively looking to hire will post their jobs online and they come to meet students to really see what kind of internships there are. And it's a great place to meet small businesses in Pittsburgh and get those job opportunities in person. And then we also have a website called Handshake. This is Duquesne's system for Indeed or a lot of online job searching. So there's hundreds of job and internship postings that are available to all of our Duquesne students, where you can upload your resume, directly apply for the positions, and make an appointment with some of our career counselors at Duquesne. So it's a really, really good way to get automated reports on when you want a job that's, say, in computer science, they're looking for that background. You're looking for a specific programming language. You're able to tailor these searches and get those results regularly. But we also have a lot of course, the on-campus interview program. And I realize we're running close to our 10 o'clock time. But on our next slide, we have a great platform that we recently launched called Duke's Connect. And what I always like to bring up when you're studying at university, it's not about what you're studying always. Of course, academics are a very, very big part, but it's also who you get to know and who you network with that really makes your college career very worthwhile. So Megan can attest to this. She is a Duquesne alumna, but using websites like these that allow you to connect to professionals that have graduated years before you, say with the same degree from the same country or with similar interests, there's a great opportunity for you to get a job or internship opportunity or for them to introduce you to more people. So this website is a great way with over 3,000 participants of alumni and students, where you can say, hey, I need help getting a job in this industry. And people will reach out to you. You're able to email people directly and create that mentorship relationship with a lot of Duquesne alumni and students. And it takes less than 2 minutes to sign up. But we'd just like to finish off here with a few testimonials from a student. This is from Maria Paula Quintero, saying that Duquesne has a strong sense of community. It truly feels like a home away from home. And this is something my fellow Colombians value. We have a lot of international students here on campus. And I don't know, Megan, do you want to add anything? Yeah, I think you know
Sure.
Maria Paula pretty well.
I do, and Maria Paula actually was the one of the key student speakers at her undergraduate graduation in December, and now she's moved on to a graduate program. She's in our professional MBA program at Duquesne, and she is one of the directors of the cultural ambassadors. So it takes me very nicely into telling you guys to please get on to this website, duq.edu/Faces of Duquesne. And you'll see all of the profiles of our cultural ambassadors, so you can connect with these students directly. It'll tell you their name, where they're originally from, their major, and then what languages they speak. So feel free to reach out and chat with these students through email. You know, you can ask them, do you like email? Do you want to talk on WhatsApp? And then you can ask them questions about their experience as a student at Duquesne. So you might be looking for apartments and say, hey, Fernanda, what do you think about this neighborhood? And she can give you her opinion. Don't be shy, because all of these students have signed up to do this very thing. So they want to talk to you. They're waiting to talk to you. You're not going to be bothering them whenever you reach out to them. So please, please, please use this website. Maria Paula will be on there too. So in the meantime, I know that Erin and I talked a lot today, and we really got us to our 10 o'clock time. So please make sure that you connect with us. My email's there, evangelistm@duq.edu. Erin's email is morellia1@duq.edu. Ask us anything that you need. We can always point you into websites that can be helpful, or connect you with people at the university that can answer your questions if we can't. So I see there's great questions in the chat. I'm going to send out to you guys a link for on-campus jobs, so that you can take a look at those now and start to understand what that process looks like. Also about working for students on J1 visa. I'll address that in a follow-up email as well, to make sure that you have that information. And also Handshake, yes. Handshake is a website, but also an app. So I would recommend you guys go on to our Center for Career Development site, and I will send that link to you in an email as well. That way you're not searching all over the place for it. And then also finally, if you have immigration questions, that is going to go directly to our immigration advisor, Mary Beth Morris. Her email address is immigration@duq.edu. You're able to ask her anything as well, and you are not bothering any of us whenever you ask questions. So please, feel free to reach out to Mary Beth. You're welcome to add me to an email as well, and I can help to answer any of the questions that are not immigration related as well. So please, please, we look forward to hearing from you. We look forward to getting to know you whenever you arrive to campus. We will have a few more sessions coming up in May, June, and July to help prepare you. So this is not the last time that we'll be talking. Make sure that if you have anything that pops up from now until the next session, please email us, and then we will see you again. I believe our next session is May 26th. So we will connect again in May. So we hope that everyone has a great evening, or if you're starting your day like us, a great day today. And thank you so, so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I just want to also add that we do have recordings of our previous webinars. So if you weren't able to attend our visa tips webinar and preparing for your interview, please let us know. We can give you the direct link. We also had 2 great sessions on CPT, OPT, all of the different visas that are available in the United States. So if you have any specific questions about those are great resources as well. But like Megan said, we're always very open to please send us your email, please send us your questions, or send us even in the WhatsApp chat. These are all great ways to get in contact with us, and we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.